Hi everybody, my name's Nicole, and today I want to show you all how you can rent out your gotchis. So there's a couple ways you can do this, the main one being Gotchi Lending, and that's probably the easiest way. The second way is by having some scholars and having them grind in the Gotchiverse for you. So I'll show you both ways. Now there are pros and cons for each way. I like Gotchi Lending for a few reasons. It's very simple, it doesn't involve a lot of hassle, you don't really have to talk to anyone, you just put your gotchi out there, someone rents it, and you make a little bit of passive income through it. The downside is you can't choose who gets your gotchi, meaning they might not actually get any alchemica, that might not be their purpose. So whilst you might get some ghosts for lending it to them, you may not receive any alchemica. If you use a scholar, it is a little bit of more work to set up, you have to speak to a few people and you have to keep an eye on their progress, but you can ultimately decide who has access to your Aavegotchis and you can narrow it down to the best performers. Therefore, there is a bit more earning potential with scholars, but like I said, it is a bit more work. Anyway, let me show you how to do both of them. So we're at Aavegotchi.com. We're going to start with Gotchi Lending. Go to Enter App. First, we're just going to go to Gotchi Lending to see what the going rate is at the moment, because it has fluctuated a fair bit. Also, the filter has started working since I did my last video, so that's worth using as well. But just to get a general idea of things, it looks like the going rate is 2 ghost if the borrower gets 100% of it. And it decreases from there. This one is crazy. The borrower only gets 5%. I wouldn't go that low. I'd say that'd be quite difficult to rent out. Okay, great. So based off that information, we'll go to play. My Aavegotchis. I'm going to rent out Nicole here. The upfront cost, I'm going to put 0.8 ghost. Keep it nice and competitive. So I'll get that ghost as soon as it's lent out. Lend duration, I'm going to put probably 3 hours because I want to play with it later. Go to next. Owner, I will just take 10% of it for now and they'll get 90, so I think this is pretty reasonable. And create lending listing. Confirm in your wallet and wait for that to go through. Great, so I've just refreshed because that didn't automatically show up and my listing is there. So I can view it here to make sure I've not made any mistakes and see how the user's going to see it. And I can also cancel it as well. I can't borrow it because it is my own gotchi. And it's as simple as that. So once that's lent out, I'm going to get the 0.8 ghost in my account, plus 10% of any alchemica that the borrower gets. Now, like I said before, I can't guarantee that the borrower is going to grind and grind for that alchemica. I don't know what they're going to do with it. And that's where scholars come in use. So we're on the Aavegotchi Discord. We're going to go to Scholar Request, just down here. And here you can see there are plenty of scholars and plenty of people looking for scholars. So all you need to do is either contact someone who's saying looking for a scholarship and let them know what you're offering, or you can say something along the lines of looking for scholars. And from there you can let them know your terms, your expectations, yada, yada, yada. Now I've already got about 12, 14 responses, so it's pretty easy to find a scholar. And my conversations have been pretty simple. I let them know what my split is and ask them what their wallet address is, and it's as simple as that. From here, I can monitor which ones are high performers. So when you get their wallet address, make sure you take note of their username next to it so you can keep track of these things easily. So we're back on Aavegotchi.com. I've got the wallet addresses of some scholars that I like the look of. So here's how I lend them my gotchis. I'm going to go to lend. Same as what we did before, only this time there's going to be no upfront cost. Lend duration, I'm going to start with 5 hours and I'll show you why shortly. So we're going to go with 5 hours. So now you'll need to add the whitelist ID. I don't have one yet, so I'm going to go to View Whitelist, Add Whitelist. My whitelist name will be Scholars, so I can keep a track of it. I have no members at the moment, so I can add an address to get a member. So I'm just going to input some addresses of some scholars that I got through Discord. Add addresses and add whitelist. Going to confirm in my wallet, wait for that to go through. So that's gone through and my whitelist ID is 1700. I'm going to go back. I have to do that again, so I will do 0 again. Actually, I am going to go for 4 hours just because all my scholars are new. Now I'll add my whitelist ID, so it's 1700. And that means that only people on this whitelist are going to get access to that deal. So I'm going to get 30% and they're going to get 70%, as agreed. Create listing, create lending listing. Once that's gone through, it will be available for your scholars to lend out. and it will be in a first in best dress system, which is why I only wanted to do 4 hours for now. Now, while we're on the subject of hours, at present this isn't auto-renewed, meaning that once these gotchis have been lent out and returned, I have to relist them. So if you're looking for scholars, it's generally best to do longer hours, because it's going to save you on that bit of admin. And it's also smarter to do longer hours overnight when you know you're not going to be using your gotchi for anything, and you know that you're not going to be renewing it. In the future, I would like to see a more automatic system so that they just get relisted and relisted until I say otherwise. But for now, just be mindful of that. If you're doing 1 to 2 hours, you're going to have to go back and lend it out again every 1 to 2 hours. Once someone's borrowing your gotchi, say you've got a 3-hour contract, they can continue to play and then you can pull it out after 3 hours. To my knowledge, if they don't withdraw the alchemica when they're playing, they won't actually receive any alchemica. So make it clear with your scholars that they've got to do that in order to get paid. Of course, you can then transfer it into their account after, but it's a whole lot more work for you. Anyway, how are you all finding your gotchi experience so far? I'd love to hear all about it in the comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.